Jets tonight. I hope everyone's having a great day. Hope everyone's having a good time. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are talking Jets. We're going to be talking about it all. Salutes to all the savages in the chat. Let me collect the audio really quickly, folks, and we're going to get right to it. Give me 1 second.
Blog Radio.
What's going on, folks? It's your boy Long Beach Joe, and I am back at it again. I'm back at it again, man. I'm back at it again. And it is time to talk Jets. Let me tell you, we got quite a bit to talk about. A lot of things going on around the NFL, particularly with the New York Jets. We got to talk about what we're looking like coming out of, free agency is continuing, but we're coming out of that first wave. That's kind of like the second wave of free agency. Looking to see, hey, we're the New York Jets now with the signings that we've made. Have we improved? How much better could we get? Because there's still some guys out there that we can end up grabbing. What should the Jets do there? So we're going to be discussing that. We're also going to be discussing some things about Mekhi Becton as well. A lot of people not happy with Mekhi Becton, all right? Your boy got some pushback for defending Mekhi Becton. People tried to get after me. There's a lot of people that want to get rid of him and all this other stuff. We're going to be talking about all that stuff, man. Talking about the New York Jets wide receiver position as well. There's holes there. We need to discuss what to do. There's a lot to talk about. We got pro days, all kind of things flowing. So we're going to get shaking and popping. Listen, I am the man of the people. I am here for the people. Let me shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. Listen, folks, your boy's on iTunes, man. Can we get on iTunes, please, and subscribe to your boy's show on iTunes? Go on iTunes, search The Long Beach Joe Show on iTunes. Subscribe to the show. Give me a rating, okay? People hit me with that 5-star rating. Salutes and thanks to everybody that does that. But you know what I'm saying? Leave me a 5-star rating and leave me some feedback. What do you folks think about what I'm doing here? I enjoy reading the comments about what I'm doing and how much you guys like, my show and talking about all that stuff. Just let me know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Leave me some feedback. I enjoy that. Also on Twitter as well at YoungJ000. That's my Twitter. Go back and forth. The show's Twitter is at The Long Beach Joe. You know what I'm saying? Go there at The Long Beach Joe. And, follow that page as well. Let's go back and forth. Let's talk about football. Let's talk about the Jets. For those of you that listen to me on Blog Talk Radio, Blog Talk / The Long Beach Joe Show. You know what I'm saying? For those of you that listen to me on there, guess what? We also live stream the show as well. We live stream the show. We talk about things here live on YouTube, okay? Come on over to YouTube. Go to YouTube. Put that in there. Hit that search bar on YouTube. Click in Long Beach Joe Jets. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so when I post content, y'all be in the know. You want to hit me up, talk about Jets? We can go back and forth on there as well. I drop all kinds of content on there. We talk about the team. We also game. We do a lot of stuff over there. So come on over. You know what I'm saying? See your boy's face. I'm handsome. What can I say? You know what I'm saying? So salute to everybody that does all those things. Man, we got a lot to get into today. A lot of talk, a lot of things going down right now. The Jets, have made some key signings in free agency so far, but there's still holes. There's still things that need to be addressed within this New York Jets football team, right? And I think one of the first things we start to look at is the wide receiver position, okay? You look at the wide receiver position, there's some things there. Yes, we got Corey Davis, we got Elijah Moore, but after them, and we also got Braxton Berrios, who we brought back too. But after that, there's some question marks, lots of question marks. And so you look at this situation and you look at some of the guys that we've passed up right in free agency. This fan base has gone off. I'm talking about gone off about some of the guys that, we weren't able to grab, because we walked into free agency this year really hoping that we would grab one of these guys that was constantly talked about. So you look at guys like Calvin Ridley. We all know what happened with him. He gets suspended for gambling. There was a lot of talk about the New York Jets being connected to him via trade, but we couldn't, definitely wasn't going to make that move for him. Once he got suspended, we moved on. Then you look at a guy like Amari Cooper. A lot of people got upset when the Jets didn't trade for him and he only went for a fifth and swapping 6 rounders. But again, when you looked at what he was making at the time, I know that he, definitely brought his salary down a little bit for the Browns, but what he was making at the time, and again, that was not going to work for the New York Jets and how we were trying to build. So Amari ended up going to the Browns. A lot of Jets fans were upset with that. Now, more recently, New York Jets fans absolutely got upset when Robert Woods, the Rams traded Robert Woods for a 6th rounder to the Tennessee Titans. And there was a lot of Jets fans that just blew their stack over that. We're going to be talking about that tonight as well, too. Now, I look at the situation like this. Woods, solid wide receiver in this league. I'm not going to down him. He's a talented guy, right? But he's a 30-year-old wide receiver. He's coming off of freshly having an ACL tear, and he's got a big contract as well. I can see why the New York Jets did not make that move. I have no issues with it. I have no issues with him, going to the Titans. I'm not crying about it whatsoever. I understand that some Jets fans wanted him. But when you look at all the factors that come with him, hey, the Jets didn't get him, and that's fine because we have so many more options. We also saw Allen Robinson as well sign with the Rams. But as we continue to flow through free agency, I think we saw something. That Christian Kirk contract, that Christian Kirk contract jacked up the wide receiver market in free agency like crazy. Because this guy, Christian Kirk, got 4 years and $84 million. It was insane. The Jaguars are just handing out deals like candy. They're spending money like it's like crazy. So when you looked at the market, it started to really get out of hand. So then I looked at the situation. My wheels got turning, and I said, hey, look, we got Corey Davis. We got Elijah Moore. We got Braxton Berrios. Denzel Mims I think is the biggest question, one of the biggest question marks on the roster, right? I know a lot of people are screaming about, well, we got Mims. We'll be all right. Listen, Denzel Mims never plays, okay? He doesn't. I think, again, and we'll be talking about him as well, too. I've talked to multiple people. Look, depending on Denzel Mims to come in and give you something, I'm telling you, you're setting yourself up for a disappointment, because we saw this year that Denzel Mims, even when we were down multiple wide receivers, was not being put in the game, was not able to produce at all. We saw guys get signed off the street. I'm talking off the street. I remember we brought a guy in, a wide receiver named Black, that came in off the street and had more targets and receptions than Denzel Mims. And Denzel Mims had been on the roster all year. And this was in a game where we were decimated at wide receiver. We had injuries galore. Elijah Moore was gone. Corey Davis was gone. There was so many guys out, and we still could not see Denzel Mims do anything in that light. So until Denzel Mims does something, and I love Mims. I was championing him. He was the guy that I wanted to show up last year, but until he does something, I can't count on him. I can't. So when you look at this situation here, there's still some guys out there in free agency. I think Jarvis Landry is one of those guys I would be interested in. But then you start to look and turn towards the draft, and that's where I think the New York Jets are going to go. I think the best thing the New York Jets could do is bring back Keelan Cole, right? Re-sign that guy who's a guy that absolutely performed for us. When he was called upon, he made some big catches as well, some freakish catches too. You know what I'm saying? Over guys, just catches that we didn't think he was going to be able to make, right? And he was a solid quality piece here. I'd have no issues with the New York Jets bringing back Keelan Cole and continuing forward, going into the draft and bringing in a guy like Drake London. Everyone knows I'm a big SC guy, but I'm not here to, pump SC. I'm a homer. Fight on. I'm not that guy. I am a guy that's about talent. And let me tell you something. Drake London is serious business. We're talking about a guy who's a big basketball player. He goes up and gets the football. Absolutely. Can go up high pointed, can do whatever it takes. Big catch radius, which helps Zach Wilson, because, again, Zach Wilson doesn't have to be super accurate. Just get it in his location, and he'll go up and handle business. right? Solid hands, can absolutely make plays. He's got solid speed, but a thing that I think a lot of people don't talk about when they talk about him is his ability run blocking. It's solid, man. It's solid. He's a solid run blocker. We're in a run first offense. This guy could absolutely come in and help us. Really like Drake London and what he would bring to the table. Chris Olave is another guy as well. I think we would probably be interested in the draft. I like Chris Olave. I also like Treylon Burks. Treylon Burks is a guy that's sliding down the board. I don't know what's going on. I know that he didn't run the most aggressive 40. People didn't necessarily love his 40 time, but there's been a lot of talks about him sliding as well. Garrett Wilson is also another guy I think the New York Jets should look at. So there's a lot of options for the Jets at wide receiver, and I really would like to see them attack the position in a certain way, particularly, again, heading into the draft, because I just think the wide receiver market in free agency is getting so crazy. And then when you look at the situation of the draft as well, speaking on the draft, Matt Ryan ended up getting traded to the Colts for a third-round pick, which then affects the New York Jets draft situation, right? My wheels also got turning when this situation happened, because I looked at this situation, I said, okay, well, now you look at it, right? The Falcons definitely need a quarterback. You look at the Carolina Panthers, they definitely need a quarterback as well. And there's other teams as well, like the Seattle Seahawks, that need a quarterback. Now, the Jets are sitting at 4. We've talked in the past about the New York Jets dealing the 10th pick and possibly trading down and doing whatever they could do there with players that are falling to their board and gaining more capital. But what about that 4th pick? Because you look at the situations that we were in need of. We were talking about tight end. We needed that. We shored that up. We were talking about offensive line. Hey, we went and got Laker Thomason, big guard, so that kind of shores that up, right? If you want to go forward with McGovern there at center, and we'll see who comes out of Mekhi Becton and George Fant, that scrum. But either way, you got your left and your right tackle. You know, there were so many needs there. Corner, that was talked about as well. We got DJ Reed. I mean, there was so much going on. We went and shored up our tight end position with Uzama, and we went and got, Conklin as well. There's so many things that people were talking about that were needs, and he took care of so many of them. He took care of so many of them in free agency, right? So now when you look at that 4th pick, the way it's going to fall, I could see a team like the Carolina Panthers saying, hey, I don't want to sit at 6. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get jumped by another team, especially when, again, we're already hearing reports that they've come out and told Baker Mayfield, no, thank you. Okay, we know you're on the market, but you ain't coming here. We're good. So they're clearly going to be looking for a quarterback, I believe, in this upcoming draft, because, again, I don't think they're all in on Sam Darnold. Okay, respect to Sam, but he's, on that 5th-year option. He's making $18 million this year, and they were aggressively pursuing Deshaun Watson. So that tells you if they were fully sold on Sam Darnold, I don't think they would have pursued Deshaun Watson like that. So I think Carolina's definitely going to be looking for a quarterback. You look at Atlanta, they move on from Matt Ryan. They immediately bring in Mariota, but Mariota's definitely not their future. They have to be looking for a quarterback in this upcoming draft. And guess what? They're sitting at 8. Do you want to sit at 8 and watch the board fall to you and possibly get jumped as well? Or do you want to move ahead, right? Move ahead of Carolina, move ahead of maybe another team that's going to try to jump you and grab yourself a quarterback. By the way, Malik Willis, that boy had an amazing pro day, okay? And that does nothing but bode well for the New York Jets, because that 4th pick becomes even more tempting. Come get this guy, okay, from Liberty that is performing out here. That's throwing bombs, that the arm strength and everything else is there. Come get this guy and make it happen with your football team. Come get your future quarterback. There's also another team out there as well that's looking for a quarterback. And we'll get to the lines in a second. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. There's another team out there that's looking for a QB. Seattle Seahawks. Just got rid of Russell Wilson. Got Drew Lock in the building. There's no way Drew Lock can be your future. There's no way you're thinking that. Will the Seattle Seahawks want to move up from 9 to 4? Do you want to do that? If you do, they've got a piece there that could possibly, help them move up as well. Could you see the Seattle Seahawks trading us DK Metcalf in exchange for our 4th round pick, and we get their 9th, and we keep it moving. Could you see that happening? I want to hear from you folks tonight. 515-602-9639. We're going to be talking about that. I'll tell you what, that would be amazing. There's been a lot of talks about DK Metcalf, possibly being traded. A lot of rumors swirling. I don't know what's going to happen in Seattle, but I'll tell you what, a draft day trade like that could happen. It absolutely could happen. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. We're also going to be talking about Becton hate as well. There's a lot of people that cannot stand Mekhi Becton. A lot of Jets fans that can't stand the guy, all right? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why, but there's a lot of Jets fans that can't stand him. Mike White also signed his his restricted free agent tender. So, he's back. Everything's good to go there. We also got Jamison Crowder going to the Bills, signing for, I think, $4 million. Boy, he's going to try to light us up this year. I already know it. So we're going to get to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. First caller I'm going to is my guy, Chris. Chris, I'm coming directly to you. Chris, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. How are you feeling, man?
Good, man. What's going on?
I'm all right. Listen, Chris, we talking Jets tonight. We're talking wide receivers. Give me your thoughts about the New York Jets situation at wide receiver right now. Are you comfortable with the Jets, not chasing a guy in free agency and getting into this draft and making it happen there?
The draft is a crapshoot, so you don't know what you're going to get, and there's no sure thing. So I thought they were going to make a trade, or I thought they were going to do something for trade or free agency. But if they go into the draft with for the wide receiver to solve a problem, most likely we're going to have to double up, man, on a receiver in the draft either at 4 and 10 or either at 10 and 35, I believe they have. So they'll have to do it. I mean, I like Drake London. I like his catch radius. I like, USC wide receivers usually do well in the NFL. They have a great track record. But you just don't know, man. It's unknown. The draft is a crapshoot, so who knows?
Yeah, but why do you say they need to double up? I mean, we got Elijah Moore. We got, we got Braxton Berrios back. We got Davis there as well. Do you really need to double up? I think all we really need is one guy, honestly. And I could see the New York Jets, taking a guy at 10 if he's there.
I don't trust. This is why I'm saying double up Long Beach, because when the Jets signed Corey Davis, great player, everything, but he's too injury prone. I mean, and it's always Corey Davis doesn't last the season. And one of the problems that we had last year was depth in our team. And you don't want to be completely having a rookie being the number one and, Elijah Moore and stuff like that. So I think Zach Wilson should have as many weapons as he could to be successful. And if you have that luxury on a second pick or first or second round, solve a problem. Either it's pass rusher, either it's the offensive line, either it's wide receiver, either it's cornerback. I feel that if you're building a team like the Jets, you need to solve an issue with this draft, wherever it is. I mean, I'm in agreement. Maybe we go to pass rusher, and some of the people are saying going offensive line, make us a rock solid offensive line so we can run the football. Going at Evan Neal at 4, and then Linderbaum at 10, or either Kayvon Thibodeau at 4, and then Jermaine Johnson, I think, for pass rush, or even people were saying before the cornerback, Sauce and Derek Stingley. Solve one of your problems as a Jet farm, and then you can build the team. That's what I think.
Yeah, well, I think our biggest problem right now, I think is edge. I think is one of our biggest problems, and I honestly think probably the next problem that we have is wide receiver, getting an ipso facto guy. I think a lot of people talk about corner, and I understand that, but I started to look at the situation in corner, and I say we got Bryce Hall, we got Echols, who was a guy that was definitely improving and getting better, and we saw really show up in some big spots with some interceptions. We also went and got DJ Reed, who's a guy that knows the system. A lot of people talking about him coming in and being in the immediate number 2. Some people even say he can be a number 1 there, right? So he's going to be within the system. Then we also got Michael Carter, who was amazing in the slot for us. He was one of the better young corners in the league, young slot corners in the league. So that you look there and you're like, okay, you got 4 guys there at corner, right, that are filling out spots there. Is corner as big of a need as a lot of people think it is? Do we really have to spend a first-round pick on the cornerback position when you look at it from that standpoint, Chris?
I don't know, because there's some guys in the second and third round that you look at from other positions. If you rate Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley as those kind of guys that that are game changers, you got in the first round, man. You just got to take them, man. And this folk hopes that where it is, they take the best player available, regardless of position, man. I mean, if I had anything I learned, man, about the draft, man, just take the best player. I don't care what position he is, and then work it from there.
Yeah.
I mean, that it's supposed to fill needs and stuff, but at the same time, I think they need to just take the best players that they have available. That they rate available. I mean, I trust Rex Hogan, great draft. The one thing I feel good I feel about whoever they choose is going to be good, because the year after McKagan kind of not blew the Denzel Milne draft, they brought in some guys that really know their stuff for football players, and you see the difference, So they're gonna make a good play. I feel comfortable in the decision they're gonna make regarding players.
Okay. So when you look at the situation now, I know we're talking about, them taking a player, at 4, or possibly, taking a corner, but there's also been a lot of talk about the New York Jets trading that 4th pick in the first round and moving down. Now, there's a lot of discussion, because you look at teams like Carolina, you look at teams like Atlanta, you look at a team like Seattle. These are all teams that are quarterback hungry. Would you trade that 4th pick and move down? And if you were to do that, what would be the furthest that you would be comfortable with moving down?
Very good question. I feel that this is what I feel like. Yeah, we want multiple picks in every draft and everything, but the clock is ticking on Zach Wilson, man. The contract, we got to find out who he is, man. So I'm kind of against trading down, because unless somebody offers you a crazy, offer you something insane, which could happen. But I'm against trading down. I'm getting your guys surrounding Zach Wilson with good plays, at least for this year.
Okay, so I'm going to give you some pushback, because here's my thought process on it, right? I look at the situation. I'm on the opposite side. I'm saying, hey, if a team comes with a package that's solid, you just talked about Zach Wilson. This is going to be year 2 for him, okay? Yeah, of course, you want to make sure you surround him with weapons. Guess what? You can trade down. Let's say you trade down to 6 with Carolina. You gain some more capital. You can still address needs on this football team with that. You still got a first-round pick. We still got 2 first-round picks. You've gotten more capital, and you've probably gotten more capital in this draft and maybe the next draft, right, to continue to surround him. If the package is good enough, especially if we got teams like Seattle, they supposedly have been waving DK Metcalf around, right? There's been a lot of discussion about that, a lot of rumors. You telling me if we trade down a team and they offer DK Metcalf, you're not going to take him? Is that what you're telling me, Chris?
Oh, I mean, if they offer DK Metcalf and draft choices, I mean, like I said, I think as you said, wide receiver and certain things are number 1. I don't necessarily believe in Kayvon Thibodeau, but
wow,
I like Garrett Wilson, man.
Okay,
I don't necessarily believe in Kayvon.
Why? What is the deal? Why don't you believe in Kayvon?
This is what I'm saying. It's like I go by history of the program, and maybe I don't. Maybe that doesn't think, because remember a couple of years ago, there's a guy named Deion Jordan that came out of that school. They said it's a surefire guy, can't miss. He's about 60 wins. It was a monster, Miami, and you had the whole thing, and then when he came into the league, he's like, it's average. See, what happens is a lot of these guys, we get fascinated with a lot of these players, man. You guys like 21 and 22-year-old man, young, and then we got these veterans that are 34, 30, 20, 33, 21. And these are grown men, man. And
this is
Chris.
If you're
when
telling
you're
me,
I mean,
hold on a second. If you're telling me that you're going by schools like that's not that. I'm gonna give you pushback about that take as well.
I'm going by history.
Yeah, but if you're going by history of school, there are guys that have made big time plays, right? There's guys that are in this league right now that are playing big time, particularly at the quarterback position, that don't necessarily come from some of the greatest schools.
Right.
You cannot judge a player by whatever school he comes from. It's about the talent that he possesses. It's about the talent. You just said yourself that Drake London. Hold on a second. You just said yourself that Drake London, you'd like him. You'd like us to draft him, right? SC guy. Yeah. Well, we just got done with Sam Darnold. He didn't work out here. So why would you take Drake London if Sam Darnold didn't work out here?
But Joe, don't you agree? Don't you agree that the history of the quarterbacks from the Pac-12 wasn't good? And this was my argument when drafting him from the first place.
I'll give you the last word. Go ahead.
Sauce Gardner as well. This was my argument against those kind of guys. When you play against, you don't play the SEC, you don't play the against the top talents. We don't really know about you. McCreary, the guy, the quarterback, has played against Jameson Williams and Henry Ruggs and these other type of guys. So you know what he is. Sauce Gardner hasn't played against anybody. If you look at the guys, he hasn't allowed a touchdown. Like, who's he played against? You know, and these are the things that I look at as far as the talent level is concerned. The history of the guys from USC as far as the wide receivers are pretty good. The quarterbacks, I knew when Sam Darnold, you had I forget the names of the thing, and I was online. I got a lot of pushback from a lot of people. People were calling me out and everything on the Jets blog, and I said, man, this guy is not going to be as good as you guys think he is. You know, I don't see it, and it happened. Now, could Kayvon Thibodeau be different than Deion Jordan? Yeah, he could. But if you look at, I want you to look at the similarities for even when they came out, and for the body type, as far as everything, as far as that the Oregon and the track and the weather.
Listen,
we don't know if Kayvon Thibodeau can come out here in the deep of cold and deep be that guy.
If you watch,
you don't know.
Listen, I hear you, but if you watch this kid, he gets bend, he gets pressure. This guy is one of the top edge guys for a reason. I understand what you're saying, Chris. I don't necessarily agree. I do respect your take, but he's one of the top guys for a reason. This guy gets after it. I'll tell you what, if everybody has your mindset, if anything that I can do to get Kayvon Thibodeau to slide to 4, I will do. Okay? I'm with you then, Chris. Yeah, he sucks. Listen, Lions don't even think about it.
I didn't say
okay?
He sucks.
No, he's terrible. Yeah, hey, my eyes are open too. He's terrible. Just let him slide to 4 guys. Don't worry about it. All right? Let's not even think about drafting him. As a matter of fact, he is the perfect player to go to the Jets. He's a Jets type player. Let's just let him go to the Jets, all right? Let's not even worry about him, okay, NFL? All right, anything I could do to get Kayvon to 4, I will do. So salutes to you, Chris. I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. I got to get to these lines.
Yep.
You have yourself a good night. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, man, all right? I want to hear from you.
I bet.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, there's a lot of takes, and we're spitting them. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Again, when you call in, please be patient. We're good to everybody. I want to hear everybody's take, and I want to be respectful. Also, when you call in, there's no cursing on my show. You curse, I will get you out of here so fast it'll make your head spin. I'll get you out of here faster than we got Jamal Adams out of here. Get out of here. Woo! We got that boy out of here. Fast. Real fast. All right. Also, when you call in, make sure your phone is good. All right. I know I get a lot of new callers. Make sure your phone's good. Don't call me from the bottom of a Doritos bag. All right. Make sure your phone's good. I need to be able to hear you, and you need to be able to hear me. All right. And my audience needs to be able to hear you as well. If they can't hear you, then what's the point? You know what I'm saying? Make sure your phone's together. Don't call me from the back of a Pringles can. All right. So we're going to get to these calls. 515-602-9639. Again, 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Also give the stream a like. Subscribe to the stream as well, and hit that notification bell if you like to give to the stream. The super chat's there. Also, my Cash App is at the bottom of the screen as well. Anything you give to the platform is greatly appreciated. Please give the stream a thumbs up again. So next, we can get back to these lines. I'm going to go to my guy, Monty. Monty is on the line, everybody. We're coming directly to Monty. Colin, please hold. Steve, we'll get to you.
What's up?
Monty.
What's up, man? Hey, hold on. Why you going at my guy like that? Man,
Listen,
last call.
listen.
Why
Monty,
you going? Why you going at him like that?
I must give him pushback.
I feel him.
Okay.
I feel him 100%.
I'm sure you
I
do.
feel him 100%. You know why, Joe?
Why?
I know. You know why, Joe?
Why?
When you draft players high like that, I don't want you. You got to realize players that come from them type of schools, they can't always deal with the pressure of being the guy. Yeah, you can go to a small school and still thrive, but those guys aren't actually come in and be the guy to turn around a franchise. And there's a reason why those small school guys who get drafted high, they always end up being a bust. There's one bust on our team, Corey Davis. He was drafted the top 10.
Here we go.
And they got him out of here faster than Jamal Adams, like you say.
Okay, yeah, whatever. I'll tell you what, you're talking a bunch of nonsense. Okay, listen, I give pushback to takes that I don't agree with. Listen, just because you're a small school guy doesn't mean that you can't come in and compete. It doesn't mean that you can't come in and be successful. Looking at the history of a school, it doesn't matter. You need to look at the player that you are trying to draft. That's the take you need to go after.
You got to look at everything, Joe. You got to look at the coaching staff. It's Joe. Can you agree?
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference between being drafted high and being the guy, and being a guy who is drafted in the late round and with no expectations. You can't come to New York and be a top 5 guy and not expect expectations, or not, especially from the fans. They're expecting you to be the guy. You just can't go under the radar. You have to be the guy from the start.
Yeah, but if the talent is there, the talent is there. If the guy's talented and he's doing it big at the level that he's doing it at, in school, like we talked about multiple guys, then he's going to be able to come here. That was a lot of the knock on Zach Wilson. That was a lot of the knock on Zach Wilson. Well, he doesn't play anybody. Good. He's only playing Coastal Carolina. He can't come in here. And the second he came in here, what did we see? We saw flashes. We saw the arm strength. We saw the fan base all of a sudden start to talk about how great he was and all these other things. Like, come on, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
If you're constantly looking at the past, SC, Sam Darnold didn't do well. Okay, well, don't talk about drafting Drake London then. Don't talk about that. All right, like, come on. We need to talk about that. Like that's insanity to me. You should not be just looking at a guy's school.
I don't want my D lineman from the Pac-10. That's just me personally.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want my D lineman. I don't want my D lineman from the Pac-10. Okay. I don't want my D lineman from Clemson. I don't want my I want my receivers from either Ohio State or LSU. I want my cornerbacks from either Ohio State or LSU. It's pedigree. Okay. You got to look at the pedigree and the coaching staffs out there and the talent that they're putting out.
Okay.
That stuff matters.
All right. Well, you go ahead and you pass up talent. Now, I want to talk to you about what we got going on here because you're discussing a lot of stuff. Right. You're trying to slide around questions that I got. All right. And I already know how you do, Monty. I'm not letting you do that. So when you look at this situation now, right, you look at the Jets at wide receiver currently, what are your thoughts on what Joe Douglas has been able to put together here? And how do you think the New York Jets should attack bettering the wide receiver position? Are there still free agents that you want to see them go after? Or are you looking at the draft at this point saying, hey, there's some guys in this draft that I think we should key in and take it that route?
I think the Jets have to vastly upgrade that position. Corey Davis is a solid guy. Elijah Moore, I think he has flashes. He's shown flashes to, that he can play in this league and make plays. Braxton Berrios, he's decent, but we need a guy who's going to come in and, be a threat. We don't have any threats to be able to help Zach Wilson. And, they're all solid, but we need we need somebody who can be a game changer. We need somebody who Zach Wilson can rely on. Shoot, we need like a player that he can just lock in on. Like fourth down, he's going to this guy. Something similar to what Jamar, what's the guy's name? Cincinnati, Joe
Chase.
Burrow had with Jamar
Chase.
Yeah, you got to have a guy that you can just trust whenever you get into a pickle or it's a critical down. Somebody that and can trust that can get open. And we don't have that. We haven't had that in years. And I feel like the Jets are. I think the receiving core is a B minus, right? And I think if we go high at receiver in this draft, I feel like the talent that's at the receiver position, it can easily take us to a A, because now you have everybody fitting into their correct roles. You're not asking Corey Davis to be a number one. You're asking him to be a number two. You're not asking Elijah Moore to be a number one or number two. You're asking him to be a number three. You're not relying on Denzel Mims. Like everything can just fall in place. And I think it's top-notch talent at the receiver position in this draft. And I feel like you can easily solidify the receiver position if you address it early in this draft.
Mm-hmm. So when you say early, what pick would you prefer the New York Jets to take a wide receiver at? Are you taking one at 4 or are you taking one at 10?
So I'm probably going to take one at 10. It all depends. It all depends on, what Atlanta wants to do. I'm going to try to call in and maybe try to, call in, maybe try to get ahead of Atlanta, because I think they're probably going to take a receiver, because they don't have any, right? They don't. Calvin isn't really playing.
Yeah,
they don't.
Yeah, I'm thinking Atlanta takes a quarterback. They don't have nobody. Matt Ryan is gone. They just traded him. They just brought in Marcus Mariota. Dude, he is not the future. Malik Willis is balling. He's balling, baby. Bro, I think Atlanta takes a quarterback. I think Atlanta takes a quarterback. Give me your thoughts on that.
These quarterbacks are pooled, man. I just don't see it. I don't see it. But if they take a quarterback, I wouldn't be mad at it. You gotta shoot your shot, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think one of a really good receiver can fall down to us at 10.
Mm-hmm.
I think that fourth pick we should either take I wouldn't, if we can get a really good defensive lineman, or if we can get a really good offensive lineman, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Okay. And who's the wide receiver that you?
It's definitely made in. Oh, you already know.
I was about to ask you. Garrett. I was about to ask you. I know you big on Garrett Wilson. Why? There's a lot of Jets fans that have given me pushback because I mentioned him. I also talk about Drake London, of course, because we know what he's going to bring to the table as well. But Garrett Wilson, what does he bring to the table as a wide receiver? Why could he step in and be an impact player for us immediately?
Garrett Wilson is a very, very special talent. And first, I want to give a shout out to Brian Hartline, who's actually a receivers coach for Ohio State. He does a great job of getting these guys prepared and for the next level. Mm-hmm. All these guys know how to run mostly every route in the route tree perfectly. And Garrett Wilson is just a special type of talent. He has hands. He has speed. Can run routes really, really well. I mean, there was some games where they were just trying them. They say, look, we're going to put you on this island and one-on-one with receiver, and he just kept breaking these dudes off with routes, crispy routes, man. Mm-hmm. And then you have to, and then also he's good after the catch. Like, he's amazing after the catch. So I see special talent when I look at Garrett Wilson. And then we had Chris Olave on the other side. And it's just like, man, I thought Chris Olave was special. And Garrett Wilson was just stealing all the shine. You just see him just going over the top of defenses. I mean, you got teams that were trying to double him. He's still taking dudes up top for a post route. It's just like nothing you could do to really stop this guy. Yeah. And he showed up in big games. And that's what you want to look at, from your receiver. How do they perform in the big spots? And mostly every game that I see him playing, and he showed up. So if I had to go with a receiver, it's no question. If Garrett Wilson is there, you have to run to the board and take him,
Okay.
He checks all the boxes for me. And if anybody watched him, the dude, he's a special cat, man. I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah. So when you look at this situation as well, because I know again you love Garrett Wilson, there's been a lot of talk about Drake London at 10 as well. There's some things going on in this Jets roster, man. Okay, this guy Mekhi Becton gets a lot of hate, bro. A lot of hate. I mean, I was just throwing punches with people on social media, going back and forth about Mekhi Becton. I posted about how, hey, I think he comes back next year and he's gonna really silence a lot of the critics that's out there that are talking about him being fat, lazy, bro. They get when I tell you they talk crazy to him on social media. They be talking crazy to him on social media. They be talking crazy. They say all kinds of crazy things to him. Give me your thoughts about Mekhi Becton, bro.
That's how it is in New York, man.
Yeah, and what are your thoughts about a lot of the rumors and talk about the Jets possibly trading him? What are your thoughts about all that stuff, man?
The Jets aren't good enough to trade him. It's plain and simple. They're not good enough to trade him. Why would you do that? Yeah. I think all the criticism is warranted. Mekhi Becton shows flashes of a dominant offensive lineman. He's very physical. When you watch him on TV, he pops out. He has all the traits of being like a Hall of Fame talent, but he hasn't been able to put 16, 17 games together to be able to show it consistently. And when you have that, when you kind of tease the fans like that and you're not on the field, people are going to criticize you. So, I mean, I get it. I understand. But I just don't think the Jets are good enough to be able to, trade him. If we were to take another left tackle, if that Evan Neal dude was to, be available at 4, I wouldn't mind taking him and, put Becton at the right tackle or just have him competing, for the left tackle position. Yeah. I wouldn't mind that, because Mekhi Becton has shown you the last couple of years that you can't really count on him to be there every single game. So I think, I mean, if you're Joe Douglas, you have to stick with him. But at the same time, if a better option becomes available and if it upgrades your team, then I say you take it, Well, but I do know that you got to look at your division, and in your division, offensive linemen matter. You can't have enough offensive linemen in this division because you're dealing with Buffalo, who has a stingy defense.
Not just stingy, they just got Von Miller.
Stingy defense.
Just got Von Miller, guys.
Yeah, right.
Congratulations, everybody.
Right.
It's insane.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then you're dealing with the Patriots. You know what they give you on a week to week. And then the Miami defense Miami Dolphins defense is solid. So I mean, I think if you're able to just add offensive linemen and keep adding offensive linemen, you'll be in a great spot. But the Jets have to be in position to also get a veteran offensive lineman who's still playing really good ball as well. Yeah. And I think they should definitely try to look at, J.C. Treader and see if they can bring him on the roster because now you have all this. If you were to draft a offensive lineman with that 4th pick, that's cool and everything, but you also have to have enough experience from those veteran offensive linemen to make, to kind of, slow the game down for the young guys.
Yeah.
So we're sitting in a really good position.
Yeah.
And I think that the Jets, it's been a while to get to this point, but the Jets are in a really good position to really solidify a lot of offensive positions in this draft, man. And I hope that they can do it. Especially offensive line, in the receiver position, everything can kind of slide in place to where everybody, you don't have to worry about guys, giving too much of themselves. Everybody can just kind of play their roles and, everybody can just fit into their position if they, draft the right people.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're hoping. We're continuing forward. And Joe Douglas has done a solid job in free agency. And again, we all know, or we should know, you don't want to try to shore up everything in free agency because it can get crazy. But Joe Douglas has done a lot
yeah.
of work there to shore up a lot of solid spots. And now going into the draft, he can really address a lot of other things, mainly edge and wide receiver. But Monty, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. It was phenomenal speaking with you. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you,
Yes,
my friend. We got to go
always.
back and forth, man.
For sure, man. Respect to you, Joe. Good show as always, man. Respect to you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You have a good night, man. Listen, Monty calling in with the fire. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Again, when you call in, please be patient. We'll get to everybody. I can see you. No need to call in and hang up, call in and hang up. I can see you. I'll get to you in a second. Be patient. Also, please give the stream a thumbs up wherever you're watching me from. Also, share the stream with your friends and your family. You know what I'm saying? It's always great to spread the word about what we're doing over here. If you'd like to give to the stream, the super chat's there. The Cash App is below if you'd rather go to the Cash App. Anything you give is greatly appreciated. Also, want to give a thanks to my friend Craig as well for giving to the platform. Salutes to you, man. Thank you so much. So we're going to get back to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is number. Call in. Next, I'm going to what looks like a new caller. 910. I'm coming directly to you. You look like a new caller. Give me your name, where you're from, and give me your thoughts on this New York Jets wide receiver position. 910? 910?
Oh, I got you. I'm here.
Okay, I was about to get ghost. You know
you good. Hey, I wasn't gonna call in. I was just listening to y'all.
Okay.
But when old boy said Elijah Moore is a number 3, really? That's what he's saying today.
That's what he said.
Elijah Moore is a number 3.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
Come on, man. That man, he played 1 year and he's already considered a number 3. No, bro, that ain't it. And as far as the wide receiver core, I think we just need to add one more. We got a young rookie quarterback. Just going into his second year right now. So he's gonna need time to gel. Everybody want everything at once. It's not gonna happen. Our franchise has been beat up as far as our GMs, our coaching staffs. Gates just broke us down to where we wasn't nothing.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just thinking. I'm a London fan. That's who I am. I think Garrett Wilson is almost like Elijah Moore, kind of. He might be a little better, but I don't think he's too much better than Elijah Moore. Elijah Moore is going to be good. He just had to get his feet wet.
Okay.
And if you saw him at the end of the year, he was making plays. Okay. He was making good, big plays, yak plays, catching it, everything.
Okay.
But I think London will solidify that wide receiver core.
Okay. And so when you look at the situation,
everybody wants to go.
Hold on a second. First off, what is your name again? I'm sorry, you didn't give me your name, my friend.
Charles.
Okay, Charles. First off, salutes to you, Charles, and thank you for calling into the platform. So, Charles, when you look at this situation, I hear you talking about Drake London right now, man. Is he a guy that you would take at 10? Because now there's some people talking about taking him at 4. We saw a mock today.
At 10.
Okay, so you're taking him at 10.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
At 10. No, 4 can't go now. We can't do 4, but 10 would be perfect for him.
Okay. And why exactly are you such a big fan of Drake? Like, what about Drake London makes you go, hey, I want to see this guy be a Jet?
Everybody says he can't get open. Okay, if anybody knows football,
oh my God,
players can get schemed open. Players can get schemed open.
Yeah,
they can't. You can't teach somebody to catch that ball like you do. And when he's catching that ball, that's how the NFL is. If you think about it, you don't have too much separation anyway. So if he's catching that ball, them 50-50 balls you talking about, and he's catching them damn near 60% of the time, that's it right there. That's what you need. I can scheme that, man. Okay, that our offensive coordinator showed that he can do that.
Yeah.
So I want him to be able to catch it. Think about what people was crying about. Wide receivers dropping balls.
Yep.
That's what they was crying about.
That's a fact.
So I know this man's going to catch the ball. If he's going to catch 50-50 balls, he's going to catch it, whether he's wide open or he's covered. And like I said, in the NFL, you probably have 2 yards of separation, especially with these corners you're dealing with now.
Yep. The
Ramseys, the Buffalo secondary is nasty.
Yep.
So you're not going to get separation too much. But I know he's going to catch that ball when that ball is thrown to him.
And I don't think it's just that either. I think a lot of people say he doesn't get separation, which isn't factual. I think he had this year at 8 games, he had 5 games in a row where he had over 100 yards. He had over 100, I think it was like 170 yards against Notre Dame. He had like 170, I think, against Washington State.
Ran through him, bro.
I'm telling you, I'm an SC guy. He went crazy this year. He went crazy. I do not understand what everybody is saying about that. I don't get it.
When he gets the ball in his hands, do you see how he runs?
Bro, impossible to bring down. Damn near impossible.
Exactly.
Once he gets the ball after the catch, it's unbelievable.
Players, running through players.
Talk. It's insane. It's like I don't understand it.
I know talent when I see it, bro.
Yeah.
I know talent when I see it, but also it seems like we so stuck on this offense. We need to give a little love to this defense now. We was 32nd?
Yeah.
So we need some linebackers. I've been looking into that boy Jordan Davis. He reminds me like a Chris Jenkins kind of like.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to have him and Quentin coming up that A gap, just blowing stuff up. That's the best pressure you can get, A gap pressure. So it's just the defense needs help too. But I get what people are talking about as far as Wilson needing some help.
Yeah.
But
so
Corey Davis, I think is a decent wide receiver.
Yep.
Elijah Moore, he's coming into his own. Berrios, I still like he's a Swiss Army knife, I can kind of say with him. You can get him open, scheme him open, but I don't think he's just end all be all. Maybe a fourth, number 4, maybe. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I think we need another wide receiver, and that's where we need to get that wide receiver at number 10. All that trading back mess, I can't stand to hear it. We need bona fide starters.
Okay.
We don't need to be trading back. And
so you're not interested. You would not like to see. Hold on. You would not like to see the New York Jets trade down from 4. That's not something you'd like to see at all.
No. You need to pick the best players available.
Okay.
Let's not play crapshoot and we trade back and we picking because it's not. I mean, they say it's a deep draft, but what I'm seeing as far as players, it's not that deep as far as like bona fide. I'm gonna blow stuff up. I can game changers like that. I think by the time you get to 2025, you don't have bona fide game changers. You got, well, maybe he'll do good or he did good somewhat in college. No, we want somebody we see pro level right now. That's what I want. I don't want no. I just don't like that trading back. And at the end of the day, people say trade back. You don't know if that's going to happen. You don't know if that's serious. If teams are going to want to move up and stuff like that. That's just you don't know, especially how the board falls.
Yeah. But
honestly, we need to pick the best players available. We don't have a team to where we can just let's trade back and hopefully this guy comes into his own. And no.
I mean. I look at it.
Pick the best players available.
Yeah, I mean, I look at it like if there's an opportunity to maybe move down from 4 to, like I said, I brought up Carolina, I brought up Atlanta, Seattle Seahawks. If they're willing to give us a guy like DK Metcalf, I would listen to trading back because I think there's still some talent there, especially at some of the deep positions. You look at wide receiver, there's quite a bit of wide receivers here. All right, you got Garrett Wilson. We talk about Drake London. You also got Chris Olave. There's a lot of guys that you could end up taking. You know, in that first, even going into that second, Treylon Burks is also a guy that we talk about too. Now you also look at the pass rushing situation too. You got Kayvon Thibodeau, you got Jermaine Johnson, you got Boye Mafe. There's a lot of talk about Nakobe Dean. There's a lot of talk about guys that can bring pressure off the edge. And guess what we're in need of? Those 2 positions too. So I think that there's some opportunity there. There's some opportunity for us to trade down and still gain capital. But I'm telling you, you're bringing some takes right now, man. Let me hit you with it. This guy's bringing some heat. You're bringing some heat. I ain't gonna lie to you. So listen,
I love it.
Listen, Charles.
I love it.
I wanna thank you for calling in, man. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right, my friend. You brought the heat tonight.
Hey, I'll be back, bro. Hey, appreciate it.
Absolutely. Salute to Charles calling in strong. You know what I'm saying? Calling in strong. Hit again. Damn. Brought brought the fire. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Now we're getting back to these lines. Colin, salutes to you, Colin. I'm coming directly to you. Venom, Bill, Maxwell, Steve. Hold on a second. We're hitting up Colin. Colin, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Colin, we're having some hot talk right now. A lot of discussion about the Jets and the wide receiver position. Give me your thoughts about what the New York Jets should do at the wide receiver position. Is there still a free agent out there you want to see him grab, or are you okay with them going into the draft and addressing wide receiver there?
Hey, Joe. Good night. So before I answer your question, Joe, so let me just say really quick. So Keyshawn Johnson from USC, my favorite Jet player of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Very good receiver.
Yep.
Randy Moss from Marshall, small school.
Yeah.
Talented, very good receiver. So, these guys are saying, they're not even looking at players from certain schools. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Just to think that.
Yeah.
That, you have to look at only certain schools. Talent is talent. It doesn't matter what school you're from. You got to recognize talent and develop talent when you draft such players. So
I mean, if we going all the way there with it, I didn't want to slam the argument, but I mean, Jerry Rice is from Mississippi Valley State. I mean, come on, guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there's probably more players that did well in the NFL that didn't come from the top school. Yeah. But anyhow, so to address your question on the receiver, I still feel like we added Tyler Conklin, we added CJ Uzama, we added two very good catching tight ends, which we didn't even have last year. So I personally feel with the addition of those two guys, plus your Elijah Moore, your Corey Davis, your Braxton Barrios, there's guys there that can catch the ball. It's not like last year. We have guys now. We've upgraded. We've already upgraded, guys that Zach Wilson can throw to. Mm-hmm. So, for me, I think, with that fourth pick, if we're not going to get Thibodeau, and obviously, I'm not going to mention my guy name to you because you're probably sick of hearing me saying that. But, if we can't get Thibodeau at 4, okay,
then I'm all up for trading back that fourth pick.
Okay.
Because the 10 pick is where you'll still have so many options. You can still get a top wide receiver. You probably still get, who knows, you may still get Sauce Gardner at 10. You never know. Mm-hmm. But Thibodeau is my first pick at 4.
Okay. So
and then I'm not gonna go, if we get Thibodeau at 4, I'm not drafting a wide receiver at 10.
Okay.
I don't think we have to get a receiver in the first round. I think we can get a receiver in the second round. We have 2 picks in the second round. There's a lot of talented guys.
Yep.
That's going to be there still.
Yep.
In round 2.
Yeah.
So
and let me tell you,
we don't have to.
That's one of the things I was talking about as well. I was waiting. It's great that you brought up that take because there's a guy like Jameson Williams that could be there as well. There's guys, Jahan Dotson from Penn. Yeah, I think he's from Penn. From Penn, he's a guy that could be there too. Those could be wide receivers that we could target as well. Now, I know you just said a second ago, hey, look, I would be willing to trade down. What is the furthest that you would trade down from 4 though, Colin? Where are you going? Are you willing to go 6? Are you willing to go 8? Are you willing to go 9? Where is the farthest that you're willing to trade down? And what team would you be looking to kind of do the deal with?
Well, it would all depend on what we're getting, right, for the trade, which, I really don't know how the value would be for the fourth pick. But, like I say, if we're not getting Thibodeau at 4 or my guy at 4, then I'm even trading back beyond 10. I'll go as far back as maybe 15 because even at 15, there's going to be guys there that you can draft and fill a need that we need there.
From 4 to 15,
you can get a linebacker.
You're saying you're willing to go from 4 to 15? Okay. I wanted to clarify. Go ahead.
Yeah, because you're still gonna have the 10 pick.
Okay.
Right. So you're still gonna have the 10 pick, and on 15 you still can get an edge if you want to, if you didn't get Thibodeau and you want to get an edge, you can still get an edge at 15. You can get a linebacker. You can still get a top corner, or you can still even get a receiver. Linderbaum will be there. There's so many guys that we can draft to fill, various needs on this team. So there's no need to, say, hey, we're sticking at 4, unless there's, like I said, there's this one specific guy that you really need.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I rather, acquire more draft assets, and get a lot of guys.
Yeah. No, listen, I get that. It's all about bettering the football team, and I hear you. You want to make sure you acquire some assets. Trading down would help that, and we can continue to build. And again, there's wide receivers that could be in the second, from Williams to Dotson. There's some other guys as well that could really come in and help us. But there's a guy right now, Colin, that's getting a lot of hate on this football team, and it's Mekhi Becton. All right. There's a lot of rumors, a lot of smoke that the Jets really like Akeem Ekwonu. What are your thoughts about all this smoke surrounding him, and a lot of thoughts about the New York Jets moving on from Mekhi Becton? What are your thoughts about these rumors? Do they just not make sense to you at all?
Yeah, they don't. Joe Douglas didn't draft Mekhi Becton to trade him away just because of 1 year of injuries. So, we addressed the O-line, right? We got some guys. So, I don't think they're going to go out and draft an offensive guy in the 4th or the 10th pick, because we have guys now. So, if they did that, it's probably going to be, a waste of a pick, because there's so many other guys that we can draft too. So I don't see them doing that. And Mekhi Becton was injured, but hey, the guy still has to come back. Yeah. And prove that he can play that position. If he can't, then they can switch him over to, right?
Yeah.
They can switch him to right tackle. He doesn't have to play left tackle.
Yeah.
So, I'm not concerned about that. I'm not concerned about Mekhi Becton.
Yeah.
I just hope he comes back and plays at the level that he played before. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping as well. And again, I think a lot of people really kind of fell in love with fell in love with the idea of just getting rid of him because of the injury. Again, he's been dealing with injuries in the past as well. But this injury, Greg Van Roten was thrown into the back of him. Anybody would get injured in that situation. Mekhi Becton was looking phenomenal up until that point. You know what I'm saying? He was looking good in that game, and then boom, that happened. I think he comes back this year, and I think he's going to shut a lot of people up. You know what I'm saying? And salutes again to Kaiser Rev, one of the savages in there. Kyver says there was a lot of smoke screens on rookie tight ends during the Senior Bowl. This could be a smoke screen for the New York Jets. Talk about Akeem Ekwonu. This could be a smoke screen. We got to keep that in mind. That, bro, up until Joe Douglas got here, this place was just rumors and leaking stories constantly. Once Joe Douglas got here, everything has been under lock and key. There's nothing that gets out of the Jets facility. But listen, Colin, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. It was phenomenal to speak to you. Salutes, man. Listen, salutes to Colin again. I want to thank him for calling in tonight. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Salutes to all the savages in the chat, man. Respect the savages, man. They will get after you. Next, I'm going to my guy, Bill. Bill, I'm coming directly to you. Salutes to you, Bill. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Bill, listen, we're talking free agency. We're talking the Jets. We're talking this wide receiver talk, man. Give me your thoughts about the New York Jets wide receiver position, and is Keelan Cole a guy that you would like to see the New York Jets bring back?
Oh, Keelan Cole, I've been watching that guy since you talk about guys from crazy colleges from Kentucky Wesleyan. Mm-hmm. And he was D1 guy. He blew up D1 when he was playing. So, that's a guy I was excited to him up. I think they can give him a decent contract that makes sense and shows, he's known to make a bargain. I think when you look at, again, it's a guy who he has more value to the Jets than other teams. So, I got to see why they won't let him walk. I was kind of not surprised that Jamison Crowder, he moved on. The contract seemed less than I thought that he would get. I think he was going to break the bank, but I think it was like $4 million for 1 year. So he was reliable. He served the Jets well. But for Joe to let him walk, I guess obviously, like we're saying, there's some plans at wide receiver that he has in mind specifically. And I don't know if that's going to be free agency. There's still some guys out there unsigned. I know, Jarvis Landry's out there. He's getting up there. But Will Fuller, he's another guy who's out there. I don't hear anyone talk about where he's going to land up. Valdez from Green Bay, he's out there. A lot of guys out there right now who could come in and immediately, be serviceable guys who have some experience. But, I don't know if it's, salary issues or what the contract size is going to be the challenge bringing them in. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Joe bring in another veteran along those lines. Obviously, all the big names are gone, but another effective guy. Also, I saw the third receiver for the Bengals, Auden Tate. That's a guy that a lot of people don't really hear about. He's like 6'5", huge guy. Big hands. He's a reliable target. That's another guy I wouldn't mind seeing as a big target. But I think we're going to get the blockbuster, the big name guy, the long-term guy out of the draft. I don't know if it's going to be a guy like Drake London, or if they're looking, if they trade back, then there's Burks. But I think Joe's probably going to get that guy out of the draft.
Okay. And when you're talking about getting that guy, coming out of the draft, if you are the GM, where are you taking that wide receiver? Are you taking a wide receiver at 4? Because we saw a mock recently, I believe it was from Kuiper, where they had the Jets taking Drake London at 4. Would you be comfortable with that, or are you looking to take a wide receiver at 10?
Yeah, personally, I would not get a first-round wide receiver. I think that's a position you need these guys to throw into it. I think you need the guys to kind of figure out. They go from these simple systems in college to the pros. That's when guys come out and they don't produce the first year. It was like, the guy's a bum, but he's coming from, before just running a straight line fast, we'll throw you the ball to, you have to read the defense, see where you're going to break on the same page as the QB. That takes some time. That's why our boy Mims is having a little bit of a challenge because it's a totally different ball game. I don't know if I want to take a guy that high for a position where it potentially is going to take him to grow. Now, our scouting is a lot different than it's been in the past. They sit down and they get an idea for where these guys are. Character's number one. Talent is character, and then there's ability to pick up the playbook. You see every video you see of Zach, he's at home with the family having dinner, looking at video. So it's a different kind of outing requirement. So they're going to do the due diligence and get a guy who's got the capabilities to learn. So I think that would help, but I would be surprised if Joe picks a receiver in the first round unless we trade back for 4 or 10. A lot of the boring stuff we see where it's Thibodeau and maybe Sauce, I think that might be closer to what they're doing. But I would look for a guy, maybe trading back, later on the second half of the first round. There'll be a lot of good guys there. I like Olave. He played when he was at Ohio State. He had a lot of pro options in his offense where they gave him the capabilities of reading the defense and, being on the same page with Justin Field. They had a lot of success. So that's a skill set that's going to translate over pretty quickly. So, the Jets historically over the last couple of years with Joe, they're looking for guys who can make that adjustment to the pro game and has the mentality to do that. So I would love to see that. And if we trade back, I would look for Olave.
Yeah. So when you're talking about trading back, there's a lot of talk about the New York Jets trading back from 4. Now, there's some teams that could be up there again with Malik Willis, especially the impressive things he's done in his pro day. Yeah. He was very impressive at the combine. A lot of people talking about Kenny Pickett, Matt Corral, all those guys. Would you like to see the New York Jets trade down from 4? And if so, what is the furthest back that you'd feel the most comfortable with the New York Jets staying? Would you be willing to go to 9? Yeah. Or would you be willing to go past 9 from 4? We had a guy call in earlier. He said he'd go down to 15. I think that was Colin. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts on that? What's the furthest you'd like to go down if you're trading 4?
Yeah, I guess we got to think about who you're going to get. Like, who would we get at 10? We dictate who we get at 15 or whatever, 9 or whatever position. But I would be fine trading past 10 because, like you said, pro day today, that's all people are talking about, the pro day with Malik Willis. And, those other dudes out there are going to want to show out when they have their pro days to keep pace. Yep. It's going to increase that quarterback position. So I'm with you. I think that from a 4 position, I see the options, and, these are all incredible players. But if you have a chance to kind of go back, if there's a package you can't resist, Joe likes to make deals. You go back to 4 things you could probably still get if you pick. I don't know who you pick at 10. Who would you pick at 10? In this situation, I don't know. But let's just say 10's gone and we're trading below 10. I would say, I think you could probably still get an Ohio State receiver at 18, 19.
There's a lot of talk about. There's a lot of talk about probably. I mean, if you were talking about standing around 10 or at 10, right? There's a lot of talk about Drake London could be there at 10. Tyler Linderbaum, people have talked about him being there at 10. I don't know. He might go a little bit before 10, but I could see it, him being there at 10. Jermaine Johnson. Right. Jermaine Johnson could come in and help us at edge. But, I mean, if we're just sticking to wide receivers, Chris Olave, he should be around that 19 from what you were talking about. But if we're talking about, staying at 10, Drake London is definitely going to be a guy that's probably going to be in the mix to be there from what everybody is thinking. Mm-hmm. And Burks too. Right. Burks is a guy that could definitely be there as well. There's a lot of talk about him sliding down the board as well. So he could be a guy, if you like him, you could probably take him there too.
Why are they saying he's going to slide?
There's just been a lot, ever since the combine, Bill, there's been a lot of talk about Burks sliding. He ran, I think it was a 4.5. There was a lot of people saying that they didn't like that. There's been a lot of, and again, it could be a smokescreen. It could be people talking. Again, the same thing I think is happening with Kayvon Thibodeau. There's people now saying he could slide, but there's just been a lot of stuff going on with Treylon Burks as far as a lot of people just saying he's a guy that's just sliding on the board. Some people talking about his effort, which I don't really understand. People saying that he's slow. It's just stuff like that. I don't know, Bill. I don't know where it's coming from, but that's what we're hearing constantly from different scouts, from different people in the media as well.
I think smokescreen. I agree. He weighed in like 210, right, or something like 2 plus 4.5 at 210 and 3. I don't think that's a problem. I mean, that's the guy who see him get the ball and feel he runs.
Listen,
he runs away from guys.
Yeah,
he does. Film. He gets the ball. He's running away from guys, and that's the only thing we need to see. When you see a guy get the 15 stance, this isn't a track meet, right? This is football. So when he has the ball, what he do? And you look at the film, he runs away from guys. So I don't know about that one. And then with the Thibodeau thing, I don't know if I mentioned that to you last time, but I saw a video from him a couple of years ago, and he was talking about, he wants to win the Heisman and everything. And he was talking about how he plays chess. And he says everything's a chess match, and he says he sets up the offensive lineman throughout the game. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. So I started watching him, and you look at the second half, the guy comes on. So I don't know if people watch the first half and they see he's kind of not making a lot of moves, and the guy's lazy, he's sluggish, he's not that interested. But look at the second half. The guy turns it on. He's using those chess moves that he's been talking about. Yeah. And it's really interesting to watch it. If you look at the first half versus the second half, I think a lot of people sleep on him. Hopefully, I wouldn't mind him from what I have seen. Obviously with the question marks, a lot of things that we don't see that go on behind the scenes where these things come out. A lot of times when there's smoke, there's fire. Yep. It could be a smoke screen or it could be a real concern. So either way, I don't think Joe kind of plays with fire that way anyway. But from a receiver standpoint, I don't know we'll see what happens. 10 for a receiver. He hasn't done that in his last few drafts have been pretty conservative in terms of positions, not necessarily the picks, but positions. So it would be interesting to see what happens. If he trades down, does he go with Drake at 10? And then if that's the case, then, what do we do after that? That's the question.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting situation, because, again, we're still looking for a way to continue to improve this wide receiver position. But listen, Bill, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. It was phenomenal to speak with you. Let's hit Bill with this, man. You spit fire, man. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
You're the man. Take care.
All right, take care, man. Listen, Bill calling in. We're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We are taking all callers. Please give the stream a thumbs up. Also, share the stream with your friends and family any way that you can. You know what I'm saying? And also, hey, give to the platform if you'd like to. The Super Chat's there. Cash App is at the bottom of the screen. Anything you get to the platform is greatly appreciated. So we're going to keep getting to these lines. Again, 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. Next, we're going to my guy, Steve. Venom, Maxwell will come to you in a second. Steve, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Steve, we got to talk, man. This wide receiver position, there's been a lot of takes thrown. Things is heating up. What are your thoughts about this wide receiver position with the New York Jets currently? And were you upset when the New York Jets weren't able to land Robert Woods?
Hey, Joe. Well, first off, thank you for having me on the show, dude. And I know you want to talk with me about the wide receiver position, but before we do that, Joe, could I talk to you about something really, really quickly? And I know I couldn't make it to your last show when you spoke about this, but how have you felt so far about how the Jets have done in free agency in general right now.
Well, I think they've done Joe Douglas did a very solid job there. You look at the situation, Lakeland Thomason, a lot of the tight ends that the two tight ends we were able to get, getting Braxton Berrios back, DJ Reed. I thought he did a good job. Whitehead, he did a very solid job setting up this situation. And that leads us to what I'm talking about right now is the wide receiver situation being a position where we can look at, okay, are there still guys out there right now that we can address with? Again, Jarvis Landry is out there. There's other guys out there too. But there was a lot of Jets fans that were upset that Robert Woods, you know what I'm saying, is gone now, and he's gone to the Titans. There was some Jets fans that were upset about that. But I look at it, the way that Joe Douglas has handled free agency as up to this point, the way he set it up is we can go into the draft and now attack the wide receiver position. What are your thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, no, because listen, here's the thing. I'm not too upset about like what's been going on with what we've done in free agency, because I know a lot of the people, listen, one of the things that I wanted the Jets to get was a veteran number one receiver in free agency, but maybe what Joe Douglas maybe wants to see is the receivers in this draft class, because the receivers in this draft class, I think, are absolutely loaded. I mean, we've spoken about the Jets at the wide receiver position. Listen, they definitely need to get that as an upgrade, and they still need to get an upgrade on the edge rusher as well. I understand we got that guy, Jacob Martin from the Texans.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know if he's a legit pass rusher, but, I mean,
he's a rotational guy.
An edge rusher, and
he's a rotational guy, a guy that you can bring in. He's got a high motor, so he's a guy that's going to be solid within the rotation, just like John Franklin Myers, a guy that's going to be solid on the rotation, but he's not your ipso facto pass rusher. He's not the guy that you can expect, 10, 12, 15 sacks from. He's not that guy, but he's a guy that's definitely going to get in the rotation and help out and definitely put some pressure on as well.
Yeah, no, definitely. So anyway, Joe, because let me tell you, it's been a great start, but the thing is, listen, I'm not really, really too upset about like what's been going on with the receiving core. I mean, because listen, when you look at some of these receivers, there were some of these receivers that were asking for like a ridiculous amount of money, yep. And like some of the contracts that some of the receivers were getting, I think were ridiculous. Like if you want to give an example, you made an example earlier in the show tonight. Christian Kirk getting that ridiculous like $84 million contract. Who's a third receiver,
yep.
And Jacksonville gave him that money. Joe Douglas would never do anything like that.
Nope.
Never do anything like that.
Nope.
And I mean, the thing is, Joe, when you look at the situation with this team right now, with the situation with this team right now, this is a team that I think that's finally being built right. We're building for our quarterback for the future. We're building, for, hopefully this is finally the time when we finally build this team in the right direction. But, the thing is that, someone on the show who was on the show earlier tonight before me was talking about, like, the situation where this team is, somebody was talking about, like, oh, we shouldn't draft this guy because he went to an unknown school. But the thing is about this, you don't really draft a player that basically says, oh, I don't want to pick him because he goes to an unknown school. Because every Jet fan is like, oh, we got to draft the one from Alabama, Ohio State, LSU, Penn State, all those big football college schools. Listen, there are some players. I mean, listen, Zach Wilson is from BYU, and BYU is not one of the biggest football schools in the nation.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you look at the situation too with this team, you got to understand that this is a team that the Jets feel that want to be put in the right system. With the offensive system that LaFleur has, the defensive system that Ulbrich and Saleh have. You got to make sure that the team is built right.
Yeah. And
that's what they're doing with this draft. And, listen, and here's the thing, Joe. You made a good point. I would be okay if there was a team that desperately needs a quarterback for the future. I mean, we saw, what was his name, what his name is.
Malik Willis.
One of the quarterbacks going into this draft. I mean, he was throwing bombs left and right today at his pro day.
Yep.
Let me tell you, if there is a team that is interested in drafting up for a quarterback, and it's the Jets, because we have the number 4 pick, I would have no problem the Jets doing that.
Okay.
No problem.
Now, what you saying that?
Down. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I know you meant trading down. So when you're saying that right now, and you're looking at the situation with the New York Jets, possibly trading down, you're saying, hey, you'd be willing to move from 4. What's the furthest you're willing to move down? Are you willing to move down to 6 and that's it? Are you willing to move down to 8? Are you willing to move down further than 10? Where is the stopping point for you to move down in the draft, Steve, from 4?
Somewhere close if we could still stay in the top 10, like between like 5 and 10. I mean, I know the Jets do pick at number 10 as well, but we got to find a way, Joe. We got to find a way. I mean, I'm hoping though, like in the next couple of weeks, that if Joe Douglas wants to say to some teams, if you guys need a quarterback, you can call up our office and we can talk. We can do trade talk. Because let me tell you something, Joe. I trust Joe Douglas so much when he talks about with trades and all that stuff. Let me tell you something. The trades that he's done is phenomenal. Heck, hey, listen. Remember, we traded Blake Cashman for a 6th-round pick for next year.
Yeah.
No one didn't expect us to trade Blake Cashman for a 6th-round pick in 2023.
Yeah.
Because Blake, I'm not saying Blake Cashman was a bad player. The problem was he was very injury-prone, unfortunately.
Yeah, he never played. Yeah, he never played. He was never on the field. I mean, what did he play, like 14 games in 3 seasons? That's insane. The guy never played. He was a bona fide IR waiting to happen. That's what it was. He was on an IR every single year. So you're talking facts, Steve. Now, my final question before I let you go, Steve, is Mekhi Becton's getting a lot of hate in his fan base, man. What are your thoughts about the fan bases, the way that they deal with Mekhi Becton, how they talk to him? And do you think Mekhi is going to be able to come back this year and shut a lot of those critics up?
You know something? I'm going to say this right now. I think those Jet fans who are saying that Mekhi Becton stinks and is already a draft bust, I think those people are absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
Because remember, if anybody watched Mekhi's rookie season, I mean, even though the Jets were a bad team his rookie season, he showed a lot of promise his rookie season when he was healthy and when he was good. Now, I understand that he does still have a little bit of the weight problem. However, though, he is working on it. I mean, I've seen him in his videos going to the gym. I've seen him, working out with personal trainers on him to get his more body muscular. Because let me tell you something right now. When he was playing for us last year in that first game against Carolina, he was doing what he was supposed to do, okay? Yeah. Everything went completely downhill when he got that injury last year. And if anybody watched that first game of the season, because it was on Zach Wilson's first career touchdown pass last year, if anybody watched that game, going back to the replay, Mekhi got hurt because of Greg Van Roten. If anybody doesn't believe me, watch that play. Yep. Van Roten was getting bottle by some Carolina defender on that play, and that was the reason why Becton got hurt. It was because of Van Roten.
Yeah.
Van Roten wasn't. If anybody saw, Van Roten wasn't even trying.
Yeah. Steve, you're talking facts, man. Steve is talking facts around here. Listen, Steve, I want to thank you for calling in tonight. It was phenomenal to speak from you. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you. All right, my friend?
Yeah, no problem, Joe. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
All right, you have a good one. Listen, Steve called in with some heat, man. Steve always has some fire takes. We're going to keep getting to these lines again. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. All right, I'm taking all callers. Steve calling in with some heat, man. Calling in with some heat. You got to have takes to be here. So please give the stream a thumbs up. You know what I'm saying? Share the stream. Also subscribe if you have not subscribed to the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And hit that notification bell so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. So next we're going to my guy, Venom. This is Venom G's, man. Hey, listen, guys. Listen. Venom, he's a savage. He's a savage. Damn. Venom is a straight savage. Salutes to you, Venom. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Venom, we're talking Jets wide receivers. We're talking about it all. Give me your thoughts about this wide receiver core as it currently stands. Would you like to see us sign a guy like Keelan Cole and bring him back into the fold?
I'm all on the DK Metcalf train, man. If we could trade and go get probably like another second round pick and go to their 9th spot, I'm all for it, man.
You think that
I
Seattle,
like
Venom?
DK,
Do you think that
Terrence,
you really think that Seattle would give up DK Metcalf and a second to move up for us? I think at best you're probably going to get is DK.
Like
well, I mean, Joe do fleece people.
Yo, we was talking about how Joe been swindling these guys,
he
man.
Do, bro.
So he got something. So I can't put anything past him, man.
Mm-hmm.
Pull it off. I think I have faith in him.
Yeah.
And I think DK and Elijah, I think that would be they go back to their old college days. They could create something, man.
Yeah. So let's say this, Venom. Let's say this, because I understand the DK left. We all want to see it. I don't know if Seattle is serious about this. Again, that could be all rumors, right? So let's take that off the board. No DK, no nothing like that. What are you doing to improve this New York Jets wide receiver core? Is there still a guy in free agency that you're willing to go after? Because let me tell you something. When Robert Woods was traded to the Titans and it was just a 6th-round pick, Jets fans were furious. There were so many Jets fans that were furious. Where are you going? Is there a guy in free agency you want to grab, or are you willing to go to the draft and grab a guy in the draft?
Nah, I would probably go to the draft, man, get somebody that could grow with Zach. I don't want to get – right now, they don't even – only reason I'm saying DK is because he's still young. He could run. Mm-hmm. Anybody else is in their 30s going over the hill at this point in time. We can't talk about Julio. We can't talk about Landry. Who else could come in and make an impact? Everybody else is gone. We saw – I think Amari went to Cleveland, so he went for a low round pick too, and
a 5th, and they swapped 6 rounders.
So that's crazy to hear these numbers and these picks that these guys are getting traded for. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but it's also the contracts. The contracts too is something you got to look at as well, because Amari went to that Browns with that $20 million. I think he came down to like 15, but again, that could have been him and the Browns talking when they were in pursuit of Deshaun Watson. So I don't know if that's a guarantee that he would have did that here. But he did go there initially with $20 million on their books immediately. And then Robert Woods as well, coming off that ACL injury. He's going to the Titans with a big contract too. So you're just wondering, you look at this Jets situation, would they even have been really in position to make those moves and kind of survive financially as we continue to try to build this football team, because we don't have enough,
Yeah, and I think you don't really have to have a number one, like a real number one. You can look at the teams like the Steelers. They don't have a real legit number one. And even the Tennessee Titans don't have a real number one. A.J. Brown is a beast, but nobody considers him a number one. So even with teams like that, you see it's just positional guys that they need at the wide receiver position. So I think we just got to play complementary football.
Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, we're going to be hopefully running the ball quite a lot, especially when you look at this situation with our offensive line getting up and getting better. Now we're talking about this offensive line now, Venom. Give me your thoughts on all the hate that Mekhi Becton receives, man. Because now there's a lot of people, especially a lot of Jets fans, that are saying that we should trade Mekhi Becton. What are your thoughts about that idea, bro?
Why? I don't even understand the hate. I don't even understand why everybody is so concerned about Mekhi for. Like,
Venom,
he's a big dude.
Venom, when I tell you they talk to him crazy on social media, bruh, they be talking to Mekhi crazy, bro. I'm talking crazy, bro. I'm talking crazy, bro. They call him fat. They be calling him lazy. They
social media,
bruh.
They don't understand. This dude is, he's 300 pounds, and I think he ran a 4.5, something retarded like that. Most of the people that's talking like this probably can't even do what Mekhi's doing. So I don't even understand. We had like the last caller said, when Van Rotten into him. He ran over his leg. So I don't even understand why all this is a concern. Makai's gonna be fine, man.
Bro.
You know, the fans are gonna run him out. You don't want him to turn into Jamal again, and then we'll be like, oh, we wasted a draft pick on this guy. Let him just get back and see what he does next year.
Yeah, I'm telling you what, man. They be
No,
talking
but
crazy.
one thing, Joe.
Go ahead.
One thing, I don't care about they get as a wide receiver, none of that. I just want a pass rusher, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't care who it is. It has to be somebody legit because the one we just signed, this Martin kid, I don't see him producing at a high rate, man. I just don't see it. And you know, all these guys. Who we got? Von Miller in Buffalo.
Buffalo.
That's gonna be crazy.
Well,
and then Chandler Jones went to the Raiders.
Yeah, you went to the Raiders.
When are we gonna just pick one guy to bring off the edge, man?
And that's why I've been so big on getting. I've talked about this before. I think it was a couple shows ago. Going double pass rusher. And I've talked about it as well with other people, and I believe I got some resistance immediately, and people were going, "Oh, that's overkill, Joe. That's overkill." And I said, "Oh, hold on, wait a second here. You're in an NFL that's an offensively driven league, okay? The Buffalo Bills had a suffocating defense already, full of pass rush. They got multiple guys they can bring at you from Rousseau. I know Jerry Hughes is a free agent. We'll see what happens with him, but they got a ton of guys over there, right? That bring pressure constantly." And then they said, I think we need to go sign Von Miller, and they made it happen. Why would they do that? It's because they understand, right, that they're trying to compete for a Super Bowl, okay? And to do that, they have to chase around who has ever thrown the ball and kill them. That's what they have to do. They know that, okay? They're competing on that level every single year. So they understand they're going to run into teams like the Chiefs. Now you got Deshaun Watson at the Browns. You got Lamar Jackson. You got all these teams that they have to keep running into. The Titans, all these other teams they got to run to. We must get to the quarterback immediately. So if you're telling me that the Bills understand that, why can't we understand that? Why wouldn't you want to go pass rush double time? By the way, we're running a defense that if you look at San Francisco, they have multiple pass rushers. That's how the defense works. It works off of pressure. That's why I told people I don't want a damn safety at 4. This defense works off of pressure. They got Bosa. They got Warner. They got multiple guys over there in San Francisco. I'm on the West Coast. I watch them. I'm forced to. Okay? That's how the defense works. We don't have a passer. Carl Lawson, coming off of a torn Achilles, we'll see what he gives us. But at this point, we have a big question mark at pass rush. Double it up. Okay, wide receivers could be there in a second. Go ahead, Venom.
And that's the thing. We saw with Buffalo, their interior is designed to push forward, and that's why they lost to Kansas City because they had no pass rush. So that if you have a good O-line that could hold up that pressure, you can't get to them, and that's why they went and got Von Miller so he could come off the edge and bend and get to him. We saw what happened in the Super Bowl, man.
Exactly.
Von Miller is still elite like that.
Yeah.
And that's what we need, somebody that could bend. Look at Joey Bosa. Look at, what's my man from the Steelers?
TJ Watt. TJ Watt.
Yes, man. We need one of those. Even it creates so much confusion. Even if you have guys coming up the front. Even JPP, he's not elite, but he gets off so quick that it makes the quarterback so uncomfortable.
He's damn good. Yeah. And we saw what pass rush does. We saw what pass rush does when you got Patrick Mahomes out there running for his life, okay? We saw that Chiefs offense looked like it was completely dismantled. Didn't look the same when Patrick Mahomes had guys in his face trying to destroy him. Okay.
In his face, Joe, look at what happened with the Bengals. How much pressure they put on him.
Facts.
And you don't gotta have all stars. You just gotta have a crew of dogs with you that know the playbook.
Yep.
You don't gotta have these cornerbacks. You don't gotta have elite cornerbacks.
Yep.
You don't gotta have elite safeties. You just gotta know the playbook, know your assignments, and get after it. Let the people up front do their job. The pass rushers do what they doing. Man, so the blueprint is out there. We know what we got to do. It's just the fan base is hesitant on what direction should we go in. So it's tough, man.
I don't know
why.
I know
we just need a damn pass rush.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody is hesitant. It is pretty obvious why the New York Jets have lost consistently for these last, I don't know how many years we've all been Jets fans. It's because we do not have, or we cannot keep, players that make an impact at impact positions. A lot of Jets fans think this is 1995. This is not 1995 anymore. This is an offensively driven league, okay? This is not the 80s. This is not the 90s. If you do not have a pass rusher, if you do not have a solid quarterback and surround them with weapons, you cannot do that stuff. You're going to lose, okay? You're going to lose. I don't care if you have an all-pro safety. We had that before, and we were losers, all right? Go get a pass rusher and continue to surround Zach Wilson with weapons, and you will see this team definitely step up and get better.
Yeah, and, I know everybody's thought about getting this good wide receiver, but we had security blankets to stand. We had Robbie Anderson that was that security blanket. We had them around. It's just right now we need to rebuild that formula again, and it doesn't need a number one wide receiver. So I think as long as you got complimentary guys, you had Brandon Marshall that wasn't a number one at his time. You had what was my man Eric Decker that wasn't a number one at his time.
Those
and
are
they
good guys.
both killed the league. We almost made the playoffs. So we almost did it. We know the formula. Look at the Titans. They're in the playoffs every year. They don't have a number one. So we just need to create that formula that they're doing. So that's it, man. Yeah. And all we got to do is just get these dogs on the field.
Yeah.
I think this team right now, with the additions that Joe Douglas made, only addition that I wanted him to make was Hassan Reddick. That was it.
Ooh.
Because that dude is a dog.
We missed out on Zardarius Smith too. Zardarius Smith went to the Vikings as well.
Oh yeah,
man, it was crazy.
I don't like Smith too much. I don't see it on the stat numbers. But Reddick, he's a dog. He's a beast, man. And I think Darius Smith is just hurt all the time. I didn't even see him last year play. But.
Yeah, he battled injuries here and there, but he's a guy that could come in here and I'm telling you, absolutely wreck shop as a pass rusher, and we needed that. You're speaking facts, Venom. But listen, Venom, I got to get back to these lines, man. I want to thank you for calling in. Next time I have a show, I want to hear from you, man. I want to hear from you.
Definitely will, Joe. Definitely will.
All right, man.
Have a good one, man.
Yeah, let's give Venom something on his way out, man. Salutes to Venom. He knows what he's talking about, man. He drops his takes. We're going to keep getting to the lines. 515-602-9639. 515-602-9639 is the number. Call in. We're taking all callers. Next, we're going to my guy, Maxwell. Maxwell, salutes to you. I want to thank you for calling in tonight. Maxwell, we are talking Jets wide receivers. There's some holes there, man. Give me your thoughts about this wide receiver core right now. You looking at Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, Braxton Berrios is back. How much faith do you have in Denzel Mims to finally step up and be the guy that we need him to be, man?
I think we're going to trade Denzel Mims. He sucks really bad. I hope we trade him. He's not really that good. I mean, even though he was a product under Adam Gase, he wasn't really that good of a receiver, honestly. 0 touchdowns in his entire career in 2 years. Jamar Chase, who was a rookie last year, had more touchdowns than Denzel Mims. I understand he was injured. I understand that the coaches don't want to put him in. But I just don't think Denzel Mims has that work ethic. I think he needs to get traded, and then we need to get Julio Jones.
All
because
right.
I think he's a true number one receiver on the Jets.
Okay. Well, I hear you. I hear what you're saying. I think Denzel, there's talent there, but like you said, if he's not seeing the field, if he's not on the field, then what can you do with it? So now you look at the New York Jets wide receiver situation, and I want to know, what would you do? Are you a guy that was upset when veteran guys like, Robert Woods or Amari Cooper were traded and, the Jets weren't able to get in on those trades, even though the value, capital given up was so low?
Even though I disagree because I think the value was too high. Robert Woods has like a really big contract. Amari Cooper is a big contract, and like Amari Cooper and Robert Woods are declining. And I think we should sign Julio Jones. And I understand Julio his declined in 2 years.
Okay.
I get that, but he was injured. Like he was more because of injuries. It's not. He's still in his prime. Julio Jones, even though he's 33 years old, he was very good on the Falcons, and he's a very good deep threat for Zach Wilson. And we also should draft one in the draft as well. I hope the Jets select Trayvon Burks. He reminds me of a lot of Deebo Samuel.
Okay. So you're a guy that wants to see Treylon Burks drafted. Now, exactly when do you want to take him? Because there's a lot of talk about Treylon Burks possibly being available in the second round. So are you looking to take a guy at 10? Or are you looking to take a guy in the second? What are you doing there?
It really depends. If Treylon Burks is not there later on in the draft, we should take him at 10. But if he somewhat falls, we can take him maybe in the second round.
Okay. Now, my final question for you, man, is would you be open, if you were the Jets GM, would you, be open to trading down from 4? Because there's a lot of talk about the Jets options being open there. Would you trade down from 4? And if so, what's the furthest you would trade down?
So it really depends. So if Thibodeau's there, no. If Kyle Hamilton's still on the board, we'll still take Kyle Hamilton, like the best safety prospect. If both those players are not on the board, trade down, but trade down to like 9. So we have back-to-back picks.
Okay. So if you trade down to 9, who's your target there?
So if I would trade down to 9, maybe getting a corner, maybe getting a wide receiver. Like I would say maybe like a corner, like Sauce Gardner or Derek Stingley. And then at 10, taking Treylon Burks.
Okay. So my final question for you, Maxwell, because you're bringing the heat tonight. Give me your thought about the hate on Mekhi Becton. What are your thoughts about him, and what are your thoughts about a lot of rumors about surrounding him, talking about the Jets would possibly look to trade him because they like Ekwonu so much?
They're not going to trade Mekhi Becton. I understand he was injured, but like Mekhi Becton was injured last year, and people go, and these people who bash him on social media, they just do this to get attention. Like, bro, he ran a 4.5. He's in the weight room. Like, can any of those people on social media, like, do you know how long it takes just to even be fit on the field? It takes so long. And these fans they just want to post it on social media just to get attention. I said this in the last time, you were asked this question. These fans just want to bash Mekhi Becton because they want to be like, they want to just be on social media and they can just bash where they want. But that's just not the reality. Is that these Jets fans just want attention on social media?
Yeah, it's crazy, Maxwell. Listen, Maxwell, I want to thank you for calling in tonight, man. Your call was phenomenal. Let me hit you with I want to thank you for calling in. You have yourself a good night, my friend.
See ya.
All right. Listen, Maxwell called in with some takes. That was a call from him. That was a call. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Salutes to all the savages in the chat. My guy Kaiser Rev says, if we trade down from 10, what is the furthest you'd like to trade down, and who would you take? There's some options there. If we trade down from 10, we could move down a couple spots. I could see us moving down to maybe 13, maybe 14. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if it's in that range, that pass rusher situation still looks decent. Depending on how the board falls, we could still see Jermaine Johnson there. Garrett Wilson might be there. You know what I'm saying? We could take one of those guys. I could see that, but I'd be open to it. Salutes to NY Jets FL in the chat as well known Savage. NY Jets FL says, Joe, I would consider Stingley if we trade down. I hear you there, NY. Stingley he's a good corner, but the injury concern is huge for me. That foot, if it's not fully healthy, and we can't guarantee that it's gonna stay healthy, as a corner, that's gonna maul him for the rest of his career. And I don't know if I want to take that chance, because as much as we talk about the New York Jets being in a good space because of free agency, and we're turning things around, hitting on these picks is vital for our future. It's vital. We're turning the corner, and we're almost there to being a truly competitive team like we were the last time we made the playoffs, which was I think 10 years ago, over 10 years ago, something like that. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was a long time ago. Okay. We're almost there, turning the corner. We're building up capital. We're getting better. We're getting players. The culture is changing. We must hit on these players. And the Jets have a history of having horrific luck with players that already have injury concerns. We can talk about D. Milner. We can talk about various players that we took that had injury concerns, and they came here, and it just did not work out. And I like Stingley. I know he's a big corner at LSU, phenomenal guy. That foot injury, not interested. Not interested. I just don't want to take him. It's too scary for me. We have too many other needs. And again, I think our cornerback spot is really not in as bad of a space as a lot of people look. I really don't think a lot of people are looking at it like, hey, we got DJ Reed. We got Bryce Hall, who's a phenomenal number one corner. We saw him play extremely well. We went against the Bengals. He was covering Chase in that game and played extremely well. You got, Eccles, who stepped up and played well. We got Carter, Michael Carter II, doing his thing too. Man, that's 4 corners. You know what I'm saying? And the system that really your secondary can really, do what we're seeing, our corners do, our young corners did last year. And now we bring in a guy, DJ Reed, who understands the system, who's going to be able to play well within it. I don't know, man. I think cornerback will be okay. I think we must address pass rush, though. We must come out of this draft with more than just one guy. But I do like, some corners from I will say that. I like Sauce. Sauce is a guy I like as well. But I don't know, man. I don't know if we necessarily take one. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the show. Salutes to all the savages in the chat, man. Salutes. This was a heck of a show. A lot of fire spit. A lot of takes being thrown around, man. A lot to talk about. I tell you what, this Mekhi Becton hate, people can't stand him. People can't stand him. I got into a lot of fights about this situation. I think Mekhi comes back this year and really shows people what time it is. Once he gets fully healthy, he's gonna be ready to go. And I'm telling you, he's gonna crush a lot of people. So with that said, I'll close out. Listen, I want to thank everyone for listening. I'm the man of the people. I'm here for the people. I want to shamelessly promote my Facebook page. Everyone go on Facebook, search The Long Beach Joe Show. Like that page. My content's up there. Go ahead and give it a listen. Message me. I'll message you right back. I love going back and forth with folks about this football team. Also, leave me some feedback. I love hearing about what you folks think I do here on The Long Beach Joe Show. As always, folks, as well, I'm on Twitter. YoungJ000. Again, YoungJ000. You want to follow me? I'll follow you right back. You want to troll me? No issues. I am the troll that lives under the bridge, and I will have my Vera Tucker jersey on at all times. At all times. Maybe we'll have a Drake London jersey this upcoming season. I don't know. I'm just saying, if we're going to go wide receiver, there's a big guy from USC that, had over 1,000 yards, 8 games. Balled out, had over 100 yards in 5 straight games, had over 170 yards against Notre Dame. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. But if you want to troll me, no issues. I'll troll you right back as well. I'm also on YouTube as well, okay? Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Long Beach Joe Jets on YouTube. Go there, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You want to troll me? No issues. I'm the troll that lives under the bridge there as well, and I'll troll you right back. Hit those comments. We'll go back and forth in those comments too. And please give all my videos a thumbs up. And as always, folks, when you see me in person, it is arms out, chest open, free hugs for everyone. Free hugs for everyone. The hugs will always remain free. Don't let anyone tell you anything else. We'll never charge. The hugs will always remain free. I want to thank you folks for listening. Without you folks, I am absolutely nothing. Thank you for taking the times out of your day to listen and call into the show. You folks are the greatest. You folks have a good one. Peace. Hold on one second, folks. All right, I should be back. All right, salutes. Salutes to everyone. Listen, I want to thank everybody for calling in and listening, okay? For my new folks, okay, I'll get to the chat in just a second. For my new people that are just coming in, exclamation point, links in the chat brings up my link tree. So my link tree has links to all of my social media platforms, all of the platforms where my content is. It has everything. Even has links to all of the charities that I work with as well. For those of you that are new, I do work with charities. We have them on during certain months, and we come on and we talk about stuff like that as well. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to get involved in that too, that's in there as well. So please follow me across all of my social media platforms. Subscribe to all my YouTube pages. I got content coming. We got other stuff coming as well. We'll continue to run these shows for the newer people that are just, getting acquainted with what I do here. We'll run these shows year round. So we'll go all the way throughout the draft and the off season into the season. During the seasons, when my schedule allows, we do live watch alongs. Everybody, all the guys that have been here for quite a long time, know that we sit down, we watch Jets games together. And then directly after the game, we have a live radio show. And we'll talk about, what happened with the game. Now, the only thing I do not allow, all right, on my show is cursing. Do not call into my radio show cursing. This is a family show, all right? You want to, curse in the chat. Don't get too crazy and say a crazy word, because I will get you out of there if you saying certain words. But I understand the Jets can take you there, okay? But do not curse on my radio show. I will get you out of here so fast. I'm telling you to make your head spin. Don't do that, all right? That's the only, thing on my show, okay? Now, listen, you call in, and whatever your take is, whatever your thought process is about the football team, I'm here to listen, and we can go back and forth. I may disagree with your take, but, we'll listen, we'll go back and forth in it, and we'll connect. That's what NY Jets. If you ever see me laughing in the stream, just know I do see my savages in the chat. Salute and respect to all of y'all, and it's because you guys are making me laugh, but I have to pay attention, okay, to the caller, and I have to pay attention to the conversation. I do come to y'all, when we can, and we definitely go back and forth. So when you guys ask questions in the chat, believe me, I will come to y'all. I do that, throughout the show, but y'all be having me dying sometimes. I'll be having to pay attention to the conversation, but salutes to everybody. So yeah, so call in, we have a lot of fun, and we really get after it. We really talk about this football team, and all opinions and thought processes on the football team are welcomed and appreciated here. You're never going to get crapped on for calling in here and wanting to talk about what you feel is about this football team. I may disagree. Okay. You better be ready to stand on it. Especially, again, you look at this right here, this chat right here, these savages. All right. Over there. All right. Or over there. All right, they get after it, okay? So you better be ready to stand on, some of your takes, because they go back and forth with a lot of people. So that's that. We also, for the newer people as well, this number does not change. That is the number to my radio show, okay? Now, I know some people want to call in and get on earlier. If you want to get on the show earlier, the lines to my show open about 10 minutes before the show actually starts. So if you call this number right here about 6:50 p.m. Eastern, you'll be able to get on. So, you know what I'm saying? You'll get on, you'll wait about 10 minutes, the show will start. I'll talk about what we're going to talk about, and then when we go to the lines, hey, you'll be on earlier. So that's an old trick that a lot of the veteran guys that have been around for a minute use to get on the show early. You know what I'm saying? I'm just putting it out there, and I'm letting people know. You call in early, you get on earlier. Now, when you call in, you're in a queue. I can see you, okay? Don't call in and hang up, You'll put yourself at the back of the queue, and that'll be on you, all right? I respect everybody's time. Be patient when you call in. I get to everybody, okay? Now, I can't give everybody 30, 40 minutes on the show. We cannot do that, but I can give you your time to talk about stuff, go back and forth with you, and discuss this Jets team. So you'll get your time, trust me, but just be respectful. Call in and let's go. Let's go back and forth and let's talk about it. Also, when you call in, make sure your phone's good, all right? If your phone is awful, I'm going to have to move on because I can't hear you. My audience can't hear you. There's nothing I can do there. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing I can do there. So, yeah. Oh, also we game on this channel too. I always forget this with the newer people. We play games on this channel. I play Street Fighter, Madden, NBA 2K. We've played Outlast, Resident Evil. We'll get back to that stuff when my schedule allows it. My schedule's crazy, so we'll get back to that stuff. So if you pop in one time, you see me, going live and we're playing Street Fighter and talking and just shooting the breeze about stuff, is because that's what we do here too. So I'll get to that. And if you go in that link tree, salutes to my guy Kaiser Rev. Listen, if you go to that link tree, my Discord is in the link tree. Okay, my mods in my Discord get after me all the time. I try. All right, go to my Discord, join my Discord. Okay, my Discord. We have a lot of fun in there. We talk about all kinds of things, food, anime. We talk about the Jets. We talk about it all. Okay, and we have a lot of fun. Now, don't go in that Discord just going crazy. Because I'm telling you, my mod's going to get you up out of there, okay? You go in there talking crazy and saying certain things, we're going, they going, exit stage left. You know what I'm saying? So just go in there. Hey, be respectful with everybody and just have a good time. We laugh, we joke, we have a good time in there. There's a lot of funny memes and all kinds of stuff. So please join my Discord, which is in !Linktree or !Links. It is in that link tree. So please join my Discord in the link tree. All right. Mods. All right. See, you see, Rev, you see what I just did? Link tree. Hey, Discord. Hey, join the Discord. Y'all see how I did that? All right. Y'all ain't gotta, yell at me. I know. Okay. We got a lot of stuff coming as well. I got a lot of content that's coming as well. And that Discord is going to be huge within that content. So please, again, hit that Discord. So yeah. Ooh, this was an amazing show. The reason why I do this show, again, newer people, is to connect with fans of football. I know I have people that watch me, that listen to me, that are not Jets fans, okay? And that's fine. I love discussing football, but let me tell you something. You see these two guys here, all right? We wear green over here. I'm keeping it all the way real with you. We wear green over here, and we talk about the Jets. But if you're not a Jets fan, no problem. You know what I'm saying? We could talk football. We could talk about how you look at the Jets from the outside looking in. So, again, I want to thank everybody for calling in. I want to thank everybody for listening to the show. I'm telling you, y'all the best, man. Y'all the best. NY Jets FL says, you doing a live draft party? I'll be working on that. I'm going to try to, but I'm going to announce it a little bit closer. I know last year we did one. It was a blast. I'm probably going to do one again this year, but I want to get a little bit closer to make sure that my schedule is going to be open to do it. But I am looking to do that. And more than likely, I'm going to tell you right now, yes, I am going to. But I'm going to announce it a little when we get a bit closer to make sure that I'm going to be good. So we're going to have a lot of fun doing that too. And we're going to have a blast doing that as well. Salute to Charles Berry as well. Charles Berry says, good show, bro. Looking forward to the next show. Thank you so much, man. Good to see you in here, man. And again, I want to thank everybody for calling. Please keep calling in. The next show I'm going to do, I think, what is today? Tuesday? I think it's going to be, I'll announce the next show. It's going to be a little bit of time, but I'm going to announce the next show. And we're going to have a lot of fun. Again, follow me across all my social media. Also send alerts out as well via my YouTube too. So it's all over, plastered all over my social medias when I'll go live. You guys will know if you're newer. So follow me across all of my social media platforms. The link tree is in the Discord as well as being in the chat. Or the link tree is in the description as well as being in the chat as well. And you guys will definitely know when I'm going live. I know my schedule's crazy, all right? Like, it just is what it is. But we get it in and we have a lot of fun doing this. So salutes to everybody that came on by. Salutes to NY Jets FL. Salutes to Kaiser. You see what I just did, Rev? You seen it. All right. Don't, just y'all seen it. Salutes to you. Salutes to NFL Chaos with Jeremy. It's good to see you, man. I can't wait. So salutes to you as well. Salutes to Charles Berry. Again, good to see you in here as well, my friend. Salutes to everybody that just came on by and joined, man, and talk that talk. Salutes to JC. Salutes to, everybody just came on through and was chatting and just going back and forth. Rugs 89, SG, my guy Venom G's as well. Good to see you in here. Salutes to Sean McAteer as well, man. Good to see you in here too. Salutes to everybody, man. I just really enjoyed doing this. Love going back and forth. Quincy D, J. Cole, all my guys, man. Eddie DeJesus, good to see you in here as well. Just everybody that came on by. And again, salutes to Craig as well for supporting the platform, man. I want to thank you as well. Salutes to the machine too. Mikey LaFleur, always good to see you in here. Spin Max Dave, good to see you guys, man. Good to see you guys. So I got to get out of here because my schedule is crazy, all right? Got to go. But listen, before I get out of here, be safe, okay, folks? I don't know what's going on in this world, all right? But it's getting crazy. Be safe, all right? Sit down with your friends and your family, okay, your loved ones. Enjoy some good food, sit down, watch some good TV, enjoy some good programs. I always tell people this. I'm serious, man. As we see everything that's going on out there in the world, let the people that you love the most know that you love them, bro. Let them know. I'm telling you, that's what this is all about. All right. Let the people that you love the most in this world know that you love them. All right. That's what's important. So I'm going to get on out of here. I'll see you folks in the next show. I'll let you guys know when it's going to be. We'll keep the content rolling. So I'm going to get on out of here. You folks have a good one. Be